Good morning. You might be able to tell that it's morning because of my stupid hair. I was going to go riding, but as you can see, it's not particularly inviting at the moment. But more importantly, I don't have a mount for my action cam on the helmet. It fell off. So today, definitely, I will make a video about how to 3D print parts for your motorcycle or helmet. Because I have a 3D printer, and that's one of the reasons why I bought it, to see if I could replace or fix stuff on the bike. And yeah, you get to see a little bit of how that works. Now, anybody that does DIY will probably recognize a scene similar to this. This is the actual printer, and then this is all my tools. Just a complete mess. My dad's workshop, it was almost exactly the same. Whenever you're working on stuff, you kind of just leave things around. That's a 3D printer doing its thing. Now, if you wanted to see what I'm actually making, here's actually a very old example. You can see it's not got any sort of mounting hardware on the front. It's just a flat face. But you can see the back of it has this kind of crease down the middle, the shape, slightly triangular, I guess. And that's to fit onto the front of my helmet. Now, the way you get something like this to work is through modeling software, such as this. So you see, this is the final model that I actually want to print out. You can see it's actually a standard flat mount, GoPro style mount. But what I've done, I've extended the back area so that it has this crease, and it should fit my helmet pretty well. And this software, this is called Slicer, actually. And Slicer is used to turn a 3D model like this into a set of instructions for a 3D printer. There you go. So inside there's a little gear. And that gear, if it will stop moving, is what's pulling that plastic down into the heater, which is this little thing. So that's the heating element. And then you have the nozzle at the bottom. And that little nozzle, every time that little gear pushes the thread down, it will squeeze out the plastic into the shape that you see over there. Go back to the slicer and we have a look at the preview. This is actually what it will end up looking like. This is how it will be made. So I can drag the slider up and down, and this shows you. So what you're already seeing is about this far is the first layer, and then it builds higher and 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 higher. And the idea is laying plastic on top of plastic on top of plastic, going all the way up until it produces the final result like that. Some people might wonder how to get sound, like if I can talk to the camera. And the way I did that was, I bought this very cheap camera. I think it was only about 3,000 baht. It's a Xiaomi Yi, or now the company is just Yi action cameras. Chinese brand. It was known for being very affordable. It does 60 frames a second, full HD, which at the time of its release was pretty rad, and at the price point, you couldn't beat it. When I first got it though, the Chinese versions had the lens focused a little bit closer than infinity, which meant anything in the distance would be slightly blurred. So no matter what, I had to crack the thing open to twist the lens inside and pull the focus back to infinity so that it's better for being an actual action cam. And while I was there, I also cannibalized it a little bit. I've got this little lead off where the microphone normally was. And what I was left over was this little microphone. So that's actually from inside the camera originally. And I used to stuff this inside a traditional, foam microphone shield thing and stuff it into the helmet behind the cheek guard. Despite being so hidden away from everything, the sound was still very, very high. It was clipping along, as you can tell from the early video. So in recent videos, I actually re-recorded sound and put it back in so that it sounded cleaner. But all the Lost in Chiang Mai videos that I did, have very heavily clipped sound when there's a lot of wind or a lot of outside noises. And so my voice will be clipped too. So what I'm actually doing now is I have a new design over here. The intention is for it to look like this kind of thing. It looks like a nipple, honestly. It comes in two parts. You've got the base plate here on that side, and then you've got the cover, and then you've got these little notches which let them slide in. So this little section is for the wire. The microphone goes in there with a little bit of padding around the outside, and then you got a tiny hole at the front. That will hopefully make the sound levels about right. If not, I'll probably plug the hole. But the other thing that I've done is because I play guitar, and we have occasionally practiced in a proper room with our drummer who's also learning to drum. And I bought these industrial earplugs, and they come in a pack, and they give you quite a few. And what I've noticed that these muffle sound really, really well, and they're also very squishy. So I'm hoping that I can put that thing into the little microphone housing, and that will serve as a damper of some sort. So I could either put it on directly on top of the microphone, and then that will damp the sound, or I'll put it underneath just so that, you know, it's sort of like a shock mount. And so this is how it's going to end up printing out as soon as that finishes printing. Seriously? There's more? No, that has to be it. Essentially what's gonna happen now, I mean, it's still a bit warm. I'm gonna try pulling off these support pieces, and then we're gonna see if this will actually slide into the clamp. That's really weird. But yeah, so if you can see that, so that's the raft piece. I'm gonna rip that, peel this off, but let's say it doesn't clamp in anyway. You know what, if I shave that section down, that will actually fit. I've just stuck this blade through the layer. Oh, here we go. Ta-da! See, that might be an issue. The shape of that is actually perfect. So in the end, I did use the original one, but what I did, the piece that I cut off, I actually glued it back to this using acetone. Anybody that works in 3D printing or knows about plastics, acetone can dissolve ABS. So I took a little bit of acetone, put it on that side, put it on the opposite side, held it together, and now it's become one piece. Unfortunately, it's got this unsightly white bit, but in terms of, you know, its strength, because there's also double-sided tape just on that side as well as here, it's actually held quite well. So we shall see how well it works as a helmet mount. I can also see on the sides that there's a little bit of a gap, which means if I do print again, I'll probably increase the aggressiveness of the crease down the middle so that it clamps better. But it's a lot better than the last design, which is what peeled off. So I imagine with the proper VHB, very high bond tape, it probably will last a lot better in the weather, but we'll see how that goes. Please focus. Here's that little microphone thing, and I think it should probably just pop off as well. And the final piece of the puzzle is the microphone, actually. So this is it, embedded in the pink earplug inside the nipple shape, and then I'll essentially put that on top there. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. There we go. And that is it. double-sided tape. I'll put that inside the helmet. It's off to the side so that I'm not speaking directly into that hole. But so hopefully that'll be a pretty decent microphone setup. And if I still get issues with clipping or indeed wind noise, then I'll have to rig up some kind of dead cat or, you know, fluffy thing to reduce the wind noise. So we'll see how that goes. So today, rather than taking this thing, we're going to take Electra. You see the name, Electra. So yeah, this is it. This is the new helmet mount and also the new microphone housing. I have no idea if the microphone is going to sound any good. I have no idea if the microphone is going to sound any good, so I'm going to say this. Wow, it sounds amazing! And I'm also going to say, oh well, guess I gotta go back and redesign it.